I don't think you can learn SEO without having a playground website, basically. If your site is garbage, people aren't going to stay there. I don't believe SEO will ever die, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. PPC is getting super expensive. It's getting difficult with AI overviews, and so I found a very nice sweet spot.
Linkhouse, more than link building platform.
Welcome, guys. This is Marta from Linkhouse. We are streaming from Estonia, from SEO conference. And my guest today is Helene Jelenc. Thank you very much for coming. It's amazing that we have you here today. You're also a speaker.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
So you're one of the 2 women speaking at the conference.
Yeah. Yes, there's 2 of us.
How do you feel about that?
I feel very lucky to be here, but I definitely would love to see more diverse voices on the stage in the future. I know that a lot of women have come up to me and said, oh my gosh, it's so nice to see like a woman on stage. And so I definitely think it's important to have a lot of representation and lots of different voices. So I'm excited to maybe inspire other women that are here to maybe try next year.
The path for the young ones as well, who are trying in the industry and kind of, they don't know how to find their place in the market, but you can be an inspiration.
Yeah, it's kind of a really sad thing that a lot of women I speak to in SEO really suffer with imposter syndrome. I'm like, oh, you should speak at the next conference. And they're like, oh, I don't know enough. I said, everyone knows something. Everyone has a story to share. So yeah, I hope that many more people will want to speak at the conferences, and we'll see a lot more voices in the coming years.
Mm-hmm. Right. And how long has it been since you're working in SEO?
I have been working in SEO for about 7 years. And I've been agency side for the last 2 years, and really enjoy it. So,
okay. So tell me, do you have any good tips for women that are in the industry, how to overcome that fear that they are having an imposter syndrome?
Yeah, actually, I was just at the Women in Tech SEO conference in Berlin. First off, connecting with the other women communities out there. They're very supportive. And Alida Solis said this really interesting kind of mindset shift that she shared with us, and that when someone tells you no, they're not really saying no to you. They're saying no to that moment. Maybe there's something else going on. And so sort of stop taking things kind of personal. There will be no's. I've heard no millions of times, but you just keep going and keep trying, and know that if you're working in SEO, then you know SEO.
Okay. And how did you start? What was the changing point in your life that you decided to start doing SEO? Because I know we're the same age, so I know it wasn't the first path of your career that you chose.
No. I started in anthropology, doing social research, public policy, and when I moved to Europe from the States, I started a travel blog. But nobody was reading my travel blog, and I wasn't really sure what to do. I wasn't really interested in social media. I didn't really care for how the algorithms were, how it was very difficult to reach people. And so I started reading about marketing, read about SEO, and I was like, well, this is interesting. And used my travel blog to test, to learn. And soon after, I was begging people, let me work on your sites. I'll do it for free. Let me try this. It just was a match.
You just want to practice.
Yeah. I just wanted to practice until eventually I was like, okay, I think I can do this for a job.
Amazing. Well, I think that it's something that already came up in another interview with Gareth Hoyle, where he told us that the skill, that the ability to do SEO, this is what counts, not the experience that you had in the past, but you should create your own website for let's say, first time and work on the SEO and do it instead of just read about it, because that's how you're going to learn and you're going to find your own way of kind of experiencing SEO.
Yeah, I definitely 1,000,000% agree with this. I don't think you can learn SEO without having a playground website, basically.
So there is one thing that it always bothers me. What do you think? What's more important, on-site or off-site SEO? Do you have an opinion?
As a content girl, I definitely love on-site SEO. I think it's very valuable, but I do not think you can just choose one or the other. Definitely doing more digital outreach and reaching your clients, I think, in spaces where they are, not just getting a backlink because maybe this site makes sense, but I think stepping into that digital PR, finding maybe that mainstream media that you can share your story with or share your product, and providing value, and so that people will go directly to your site. But if your site is garbage, people aren't going to stay there. So the content needs to look good. It needs to load. All the technical and content-based SEO has to be in place. I mean, if it's not, then it's not even going to be online. So
yeah, true. Absolutely. So is there any SEO advice that you would give to anyone who's starting their adventure? Is there something you would give them as a tip?
I would say just start talking to people. Really, like, communities changed my trajectory for connecting with people, advancing my career, and just seeing what people were doing. And everyone was very open in the community and talking. So if you feel like you need a course, there's so many courses out there that can help supplement. You know, if you're self-taught like myself, I took a couple courses to try to fill in those gaps. But otherwise, really, the communities have been really great, and joining newsletters and, you know, keeping up with industry news, I think will keep you in the right spot.
Definitely.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you like our talk with Helene Jelenc, you can't miss the webinar with her. Sign up using the link in the video description or pinned comment and learn more about SEO from Helen. Okay, back to the podcast.
So what would you do if the SEO became dead?
It's not going to die. No, I don't believe SEO will ever die. Especially from my background, I did a lot of research, conducting research, working in libraries, working in museums, digitizing information and organizing it is something that I've been doing for a long time before I was doing SEO. And there needs to be a way to organize the internet. So, and I think that at this moment, SEO is how we do it. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon.
So as long as we have internet, that's how long we're going to have SEO. Is that what you're trying to say?
Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Is there, could you tell us your opinion about the recent leak from Google?
I am probably not the best person to ask because I just don't care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty brave.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that, please.
I just felt like there wasn't anything particular that stood out to me in the leak that I was like, okay, this is, you know, something that's going to change the way I'm doing SEO, because it's not. It didn't change anything that I was doing. While I would appreciate if Google would, you know, be transparent and talking and sharing with us, it's also a private company. And so they ideally can do what they please. And so it's not really up to me. So yeah, I don't think it changed the way I work. It doesn't change the way I think about SEO. I'm just keep going with what I believe in and creating high quality content.
Well, can you give us a sneak peek into your presentation?
Sure. My presentation, I'm talking about transactional pages that rank for software, and really thinking about building those content hubs around your brand and your category, and leveraging the product-led SEO by, you know, what is your product offering in terms of solutions? What industries are you talking to? And kind of challenging the idea that you can rank these pages on Google on page 1. Previously, a lot of SEOs would say, no, the user intent is G2 and Capterra, they want reviews. Like, you're not going to rank your page there. And I felt a bit stubborn about it. And I was like, I don't know. I think I can do it. And so a couple of years ago, I started looking into these pages. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. I had some clients that had a lot of faith in me. And we took almost all of their product pages to page 1. So now instead of, just having 1 or 2 pages there, like, we have a whole suite of different areas for people to come in, whether they're from a specific industry or looking for a specific solution. So it brought a lot more entry points for, people who have very high intent, ready to spend, high conversion rate. And so I think this is going to be very valuable to think about because PPC is getting super expensive. It's getting difficult with AI overviews. And so I found a very nice sweet spot where,
a loop.
Yes. So I'm going to share some data later about how little these queries show up in AI overview. So AI overview isn't really showing up for most of these transactional keywords for SaaS. There's not even a lot of ads in this space. And so if you're organic, you are going to be at the absolute top of that page. And I think that's going to be really valuable.
And how do you feel? What if AI overview take over?
Well, then I will find out how to get in it. We are working with a lot of this, working on brand search and understanding, is that client becoming an entity? Do AI know about them? If I ask ChatGPT, if I ask, any of this, do you know this client? And it's like, no. And I'm like, okay, we have a problem. Like, you're not going to show up in AI overviews. So also kind of making sure that structured data and everything is connected, your branding is consistent across the internet. It's sort of like a new wave, I think, of SEO that has to go hand in hand with content. So previously, if there was issues with branded search, I was like, not my problem. And now I'm like, okay, now it's my problem. And I'm very interested in how that branded search and bottom of funnel search can complement each other.
Definitely. That sounds very interesting. Are you using ChatGPT to actually create content?
No.
No.
No. I create my own GPTs for each of my clients individually. So they are highly specialized. I feed them documentation. Maybe they have brand voice, ICP documents, some of their top performing articles, and just feeding it, what are they offering? Who are they servicing? And through this and some other things that I attach, that I create content briefs, which are then human reviewed. So I always say AI created, human reviewed every single time. That's my golden rule for AI.
Oh, great. Well, is there anything that you would like to specifically tell us about, like, your job? What you like doing? Is there something, because I feel like we should maybe diversify a little bit, because you're such a strong personality within the SEO and here in the conference.
Thank you. I don't feel that way, but thank you.
You should. But if there is something that you want to extract, maybe if there is something you want to say to people.
I definitely would encourage people to find their own space. There's no need to copy others in the industry. Everyone has their own expertise, and it's really exciting. Even for myself, coming from an anthropological background, I don't meet many SEOs that have this. And so I try to bring a little bit of that to the table when I'm speaking with clients or speaking at conferences. And the core of that is really talking to people and interviewing your ideal clients or your customers and hearing it straight from them without making assumptions is not going to get you very far. And so I think being very explicit in what you want to do and intentional and staying true, that it will work out.
Do you have any words of encouragement to the ladies that are watching us today? And they are obviously, a bit starstruck by you. And tell us, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to keep going. You're not alone. I know that some women feel very isolated if they're in a team that's all men. Reach out to me, reach out to any of the communities, form your own community. But yeah, I'm always happy to help and mentor and guide new new faces in the industry. So,
well, thank you very much. It was amazing to have you here today.
thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I will see you soon.